Hey, howdy, hey, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be reviewing episode 14 of season 13 of RuPaul's Drag Race. So if that sounds goody, make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment down below what you thought about this episode, and go ahead and hit that like button. And yeah, without further ado, let's get this video started. Alright, so, obviously this was the last episode in the workroom, the last main stage episode, so I'm going to go and give you my thoughts and opinions on this episode. I'm sorry this video is coming to you late, forgot to charge my camera yesterday, and I was also out kind of late last night. But, we are back, and I'm going to go ahead and review this episode. This obviously was the Lucky Remix episode, so I'm going to get right into it. Obviously, the episode started out with the queens walking back into the workroom after Olivia Lux was eliminated, wiping off the message, talking about what's coming up next, how they're all so excited to be in the top 4. I think this is a really, really strong top 4, and I think this ultimately will be a really strong finale. I'm excited for that. But, yeah, that was about it. They were all wiping off the message. Nothing else really happens. We get into the new day where they're going to have to write songs or lyrics for a verse in RuPaul's new song Lucky and get choreographed and also talk with Michelle and RuPaul. RuPaul comes on message talking about leaving an indelible mark, all that thing. Then RuPaul comes out and tells them what they're going to have to do. And they're all going to have to write verses, obviously, like they do every year. And that was about it. As the queens are writing the verses, Rose decides to write part of a rap, which I was not expecting. Simone is very much making it character-driven, which I appreciate. And Mick is just really happy and trying to make it more positive. And Candy is nervous, because Candy's been in the bottom every singing time she's had to sing. So that happened. The queens then go in to talk to Rue and Michelle on the inside RuPaul whatever thing. I'm gonna go and give you my thoughts and opinions on this part. I do feel like you can start to tell where RuPaul's favoritism is coming in. RuPaul definitely really likes Scott, Mick, and Simone, and you can tell that from their interviews. They just seem to really banter back and forth well with Simone and Mick. And with Rose, it felt a little bit more like I don't know, there's something about Rose where Rose feels very calculated. And I think RuPaul, I feel like we don't really get to know who Rose is. So I could kind of get that from the interview. And same with Candy. Well, they like Candy, but I could tell that I don't think Candy is going to win from this interview, if that makes sense. But we'll get into that later. Then the queens start doing choreography with Jamal Sims. Obviously, Simone is struggling a little bit with choreo because choreo is not her strong suit. Mick is focusing more on the words. Candy is getting the choreo and doing okay with it. And Rosé's doing well with the choreo. Again, it's all very calculated, all very, almost... yeah, all calculated, very, like, smooth, but you don't really get to see much, of Rose in it, I guess, if that's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, choreography happens, that's about it. The queens start getting ready for the next day, for the main stage, and talking about the song, talking about representation. Mick said something that I find really, really great, how Mick realized to really be a representation for the trans community. Mick is just being themselves, and I really appreciate that. I think that was a very strong moment. Yeah, that was about it. They're all talking about representation, how happy they are to be in the finale, being what they thought about each other, all the things. That was about it. When we get to the runway, the main stage, we get to see the, first I want to talk about RuPaul and all the judges. Obviously, this week is just family, quote-unquote, so we get Rue, Michelle, Carson, and, Carson and Ross Matthews. In terms of looks, Michelle looks great, RuPaul looks great. Yeah, they all look great. It's a finale. Yeah. When it comes to then the queens, they showed the music video. I want to give my thoughts and opinion on this music video. I liked it. Honestly, I like this verse. I like the verses a lot more than previous seasons. It's not my favorite, but I will say Lucky is definitely pretty good, honestly, overall. I enjoyed it. I thought the queens all performed very well. Mick really surprised me, and I think Mick really killed it. Rosé, again, very calculated, very much like, oh, I'm gonna go here, and then here, and then here, you know? Simone was having fun with it, and I enjoyed that. Same with Candy. Overall, I think, yeah, it was a really good verse, really good song. Great job. Now we're going to talk about the runways. This is obviously the final runway. Mick looks great. I'm going to be putting pictures over here. I think this is just a really fun runway. I think Mick looks awesome. I love this. Way to go. Next, I'm going to talk about Candy. I don't feel like this was a finale runway, if that makes sense. I think this might have been her sheer runway that she didn't wear on the show. Again, I could be wrong, but that's just the sense I got from it. I feel like it's fine, but it's not really a finale gown, if that makes sense. So she looks good, it's not my favorite. Next we have Rosé. I think Rosé looks really good. Again, it's not my favorite. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Like, she looks good. I'm not saying it's a bad look. It's just, something about it is just not clicking with me, I guess. For Simone, I love Simone's outfit. I think she looks gorgeous. I love this. I love every single thing about it. Again, Simone is gonna look gorgeous. When it comes to the judging, they basically just say positive things about all the queens. Then they all have to look at a picture from their past and talk to their younger self. I thought this was a really interesting moment, especially with Gottmik, because obviously Gottmik had to talk to their picture pre-transition, and thought that was an interesting moment. I do appreciate that they got permission, obviously, from Mick to include this picture, because, I mean, they're not going to do that without getting Mick's permission. And, yeah, they all talked to their younger selves. Simone had a very emotional moment, and I love Simone. When Simone was doing that, I was like, just go ahead and crown Simone. Like, go ahead and give her that crown. But that was about it. Again, they do all the judging. They're all positive critiques. Like, you don't really get any negative critiques, obviously, because we're in the last episode. So, that was about it. The queens all have to lip sync one by one at the end. The lip sync was fine, nothing crazy. I thought Simone did great, obviously. Mick, I thought, did pretty well. Candy did well. They all did well, again. Yeah, what you're gonna expect in the top 4. In the end, no one goes home, obviously. I'm not surprised by this. I just feel like with this season, we've had 5 episodes already with no one going home, so I was kind of hoping that we would send someone home, but at the same time, I'm like, it's the top 4, they're not gonna send someone home. But that brings me to the end of this. Now I'm going to go and give you my thoughts and opinions on who I think is going to win ultimately. For me, it's between Gottmik and Simone, because when I look at RuPaul's relationship with all the queens, don't get me wrong, I love Candy, but Candy's not going to win. She's been in the bottom too many times, only has 1 win. I would be shocked if Candy wins. With Rosé, again, it's all very calculated and all very much like meticulous, and I feel like we don't really get to know who Rosé is in terms of story. So just in terms of story, I don't think Rosé will win. Like again, like we said, Rosé is very professional, but we don't really get to know who Rosé is, and that's a big reason why I think Rosé will not win. So for me, it's between Simone and Gottmik, and honestly, I think in the end, Gottmik is gonna win, because I can see Ru wanting Simone to come back for an All-Stars to compete against Gigi Good. Again, I could be wrong, but that's just my instincts right now, is that Gottmik is ultimately gonna win in the end. Again, we'll have to see. Next week, we have our reunion, so I'm excited for that. I will be reviewing that, and then obviously the week after that, we will have our winner. We will have so many weeks of episodes at this point. It is insane. But that brings the end of my review. Again, like saying all my videos, please comment down below what you thought about this episode. Make sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and share this video all over social medias. And I will be back here tomorrow with another video. Bye, guys.